What's going on, YouTube familia, and welcome back to another episode. As a matter of fact, episode 2 of Business and Life Real Talk. My name is Les Parham. I am the owner and founder of a very successful digital marketing and digital advertisement business. What this playlist is designed for, what this video does, Business and Life Real Talk is basically designed for any entrepreneur or business owner of any size. We talk about things that y'all want to talk about, things that y'all want to hear. We're just talking. There's no editing here. There's no scripting here. There's none of that stuff. It's just us having a talk. And hopefully you're listening to the sound of my voice before you go to work, get that good word in you, something to get your mind right, and then you go on about your day. That's what it's designed for. So now this is episode 2, and we are going to talk about mentorship today, right? Our 3 topics will be mentorship. We'll also cover the relationship between a mentor and a business owner or an entrepreneur. And also we're going to cover why that is important. Now, if you haven't seen episode 1 of Business and Life Real Talk, definitely go back and watch that, because what we explained in that one, remember when we do these talks, we always cover 3 topics that you need to hear, right? So with episode 1, we covered exactly what this playlist is, number 1. Number 2, why I started with business ownership and entrepreneurship. And then number 3, we covered what it actually takes to be an entrepreneur. Though I am strongly thinking about doing an entire episode on just that, because I believe in it that firmly. But today's topic is going to be mentorship. Okay, so what does mentorship mean, right? What does mentorship mean? And then why is that important to a business owner or an entrepreneur? So unlike another job where you work for somebody else, having a mentor is a different level. It's a different vibe, right? So somebody on this beautiful planet that we call Earth has done what you are trying to do. Somebody is positioned currently where you want to be, whatever your niche is, whatever your business is, whatever that looks like to you. Somebody is there and they are doing it, right? That person is who you want to emulate, right? And you don't want to copy this person to a T. Now, don't get me wrong, right? There's nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. But what I'm saying is you want to use what your mentor is going to give you as a guideline and as a basis for how you move forward in the future of your business. And those type things, right? So when you think of the word mentorship, now, yes, there's an actual dictionary definition, but think of a mentor kind of like a teacher, a guidance counselor, a person who will help you get to where you want to be, because they are already there and they know and they understand what it takes for you to get there, right? So that's a good definition for mentorship, right? For the topics of this conversation. So that's number 1. Number 2, the relationship between the mentor and the business owner or the entrepreneur. Now, this is very, very important, right? This is very, very important. I will tell you right now, to all my young business owners, if you're within the first 3 years of your business, you're within what I call the danger zone, right? The first 3 to 5 years of your business are sometimes the most dangerous, because it takes more when you're first starting to kind of, a lot of businesses don't survive. Actually, their first several years, a lot of businesses don't survive, right? So if you are a new business owner, you're within that danger zone time period. If you're a new entrepreneur, or even maybe you're a seasoned entrepreneur, but you're operating in a different niche than you're used to. Okay. It would be my advice that you need a mentor. And the thing about mentorship is this. Number 1, you have to find a mentor who you trust. It's going to be very, very important, right? Now, I talk a lot on my YouTube channel about know, like, and trust. This is important for the consumer, yes, for your customer, yes, but it is also important for the mentor-mentee relationship, right? So you're going to have to find someone who you know, like, and trust, number 1. Number 2, they're going to have to be where you are trying to go. whatever that looks like to you, right? So they should be successful in whatever your business is, or have a thorough working knowledge or understanding of how to do that. And then they should be willing to help you get to where you want to go, right? Now, here's the thing about mentorship, okay? Before you enter into a mentor-mentee relationship, understand we're not talking about a written contract, right? We're talking about word of mouth, okay? Depending upon what type of mentor you have, you might have to prove yourself to that mentor that you're worthy of this person's time. Now, understand, right? The greatest commodity that we have in this universe is time. A lot of people don't understand that. It truly is time, right? So the value proposition of a mentorship is the fact that you can speak with someone who's already been there, who's already done it, who's done it better than you, who will help you and guide you so you can see the light just like how they did, right? So, just understand there may be that feeling out period. So you may have to prove yourself to your mentor, right? And if you get a good mentor, which I hope and pray that you do, then my recommendation is to stick with her or him for as long as humanly possible, right? For as long as you get whatever it is that you feel like you need out of the relationship, for as long as you get whatever it is that you feel like you need for your business. I will tell you this, you are never going to be too big to not have a mentor. Currently, as we speak right now, I have 3 mentors. I've had several in the past. I strongly recommend getting a mentor, especially if you're in business, right? And, a lot of people don't understand a lot of the behind the scenes work that goes into being an entrepreneur or goes into being a business owner. If you're trying to go at this alone, you're in for a long road. You're in for a long, long road. That is not my recommendation, right? Try and find somebody that's within your niche, within your business type, your business style, your genre, whatever that looks like. So if I am, a realtor, right? And I want to sell homes in, let's say, the great state of Florida. Okay. Well, then it might behoove you to search for a mentor who was, number one, successful in selling homes in the great state of Florida, because the state of Florida will bring different challenges than other states, like insurance, the weather, the ocean, et cetera, right? And make sure that person has been successful within that state, and then make sure that person is willing to help you, right? And you'll know, use common sense when doing this. You'll know whether or not this mentor is right for you, right? It'll be a gut feeling and you'll just know. Okay. So what I will tell you is this: when you finally find your mentor, and when that person is willing to kind of, take you under their wing, right? My recommendation is you soak up, just be a sponge, be a complete sponge. If this person is qualified to be your mentor and you pick them, and your heart, mind, and soul tells you that this is the right person for you to be around, then be a sponge and soak up everything they put down. You need to be walking around with a notebook. You need to be taking notes. I always tell the people who I mentor, and I always do the same thing for my mentors, right? I always keep a notebook with me. And I get that from the military, right? I keep a notebook. There's a notebook by my nightstand on my bed. There's notebooks all in my office. I'm constantly writing things down. I'm constantly jotting things down. If I have a question, right? If you have a question for your mentor, but you're not there, write that question down so you don't forget it. And then when you link back up with this person, you can ask them that question, and it won't be something that you forgot. So, think about that, right? So that's a big one. And then also one thing to think about as well, too. Okay. So we're talking business and life, right? And how that applies to entrepreneurship and how that applies to becoming a business owner, right? But really, we're talking about how you elevate and how you improve your quality of life through business. If you're at the stage where you're looking for a mentor, you're doing exactly what you should be doing. The one thing that I will tell you as well is I will tell you to always check your surroundings. Excuse me. What do I mean when I say that? When I check your surroundings, what do I mean when I say that? I mean this, right? So whether you know it or not, right? There's a law out there called the law of averages. Now, the law of averages tells me this. You are, if you ever wondered what type of person you are, right? Whether that be for business, for your life, relationship, whatever, right? You are a direct reflection of the 3 or 4 people you hang around the most. So let me say that again. You are a direct reflection of the 3 or 4 people you hang around the most, right? So if you're ever wondering what type of person you are within your business, okay, look at the 3 or 4 people who you hang around the most. You're a direct average of them. And if those 3 or 4 people who you hang around the most are not the type of person that you want to be, well, then you need to move. You need to relocate, right? Or you need to move some folks out of your inner circle, because that will affect your relationship with your mentor, right? If business is what you want to do, and if you want to be successful within your business, you need to get around highly successful business folks. That's just how it goes. But now understand, when you get around folks like us, time is very valuable, right? And because they understand that time is very valuable, they're not going to want to waste it, right? So with that mentor-mentee relationship, understand if you're the mentee, right, and you're going to meet your mentor, have your ducks in a row, have the things that you want to talk about. Now, they might have a different plan, and that's okay, right? But have your questions, have something to take copious notes with, and just be ready to receive whatever it is they're getting ready to tell you, because that's going to be the important portion of how it'll help your business and your life moving forward. So, just be aware of that. If you want to change your situation, if you want to elevate, and if you're looking for a mentor, then you're on the right path to doing that. What I would also say is I would also look at the 3 people you hang around the most. And if that situation is not where it needs to be, then change it. By all means, change it, right? Okay. And then we are moving along here. And then the last one is, why is this important? The relationship between a mentor and a mentee, right? In terms of business, this is so important. So, in school, I'll use school as an example, right? In college, okay. Say if you took, U.S. American history from year whatever to year whatever, and that class is a prerequisite for the next class, which is U.S. American history from the year that the first one ended till current, right? You'd have to take the first class in order to understand what you're getting ready to learn in the second class. You see what I'm saying? So, in grade school, those grades are numbered, and also in college, those years are named. And the way it works is you have to go through the year prior in order to be effective and learn something in the next year. So it's the same way with a mentor, right? In a mentee relationship. Okay. When you come to your mentor, chances are you recognize that you are lacking in some way, shape, or form in your business, in your operation, maybe your workflow, whatever that looks like. Maybe you've stalled out, maybe you've plateaued. Maybe there are just some things that you don't know. And so that is the reason for you finding a mentor. It is a hurdle that you cannot jump yourself, right? And so you meet someone, or you just start out searching and looking for a mentor, right? And then you finally you come upon a good mentor, and that person is willing to coach you through it. So the thing about that is you need to be coachable as a mentee, meaning write down and take notes and listen to everything that your mentor says, and then create a plan preferably with your mentor, to see how you can implement those things within your business. Because, if not for that, then what's the point of having a relationship, right? This person is here to help you elevate. And that's the whole purpose, right? And that's one of the reasons why it's important, right? This person is here to help you, to guide you to whatever your next season in your business life is. This person is here to help you, to guide you to whatever the next exit on your roadmap to your business life. That's their job. Okay. That is their job. And it is my opinion that it is important for you to have a mentor, because, and especially if you get a good one, right? This person can help guide you to a much better spot than you ever thought, right? Now, earlier you heard me say there's nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. Okay. Don't take that out of context. What I'm not talking about is, I'm not talking about plagiarism, right? But what I am talking about is, if somebody is willing to sit down and coach you through some things and talk you through some things, then there's no reason why you can't take that information and create a plan and implement it within your business. I mean, that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point. Now, there's a difference, because remember, I said a good mentor, right? A good mentor can be a friend, but they're also a teacher, but they're also a coach, and a good mentor can kick you in the ass if you need it too. That's important to know as well, right? Don't surround yourself with yes men or yes women, right? You want to surround yourself with people who support you genuinely, but you also want to surround yourself with somebody that's going to help you grow your vision and help you learn and help you elevate in that way, right? Now, the difference between a mentor and a coach is this: you got to pay a coach. You got to pay a coach, right? A real mentor will mentor you out of the kindness of their heart. And because there's no monetary transactions because of this relationship, understand that there is a transaction of time and attention. And like I said, if the person is already successful, then they're going to understand how valuable time really is. So when you are the mentee, do not waste your mentor's time. It's very, very important. It's very, very important, right? And then also, you don't want to waste your time. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to waste your time. When you meet with your mentor, you should come out of it with clear, actionable goals that you can move forward with, right? Maybe, whatever the case may be, I'm sitting down my mentor. This is where I'm at, A, B, C, and D. I have no idea how to get to E through G at all, right? This is what I need your help with. So when you come out of that conversation or that meeting, you should have an actionable plan that you can walk away with immediately and work on those next steps. And then, right, remember, there's a back and forth. Okay. So as you move through those hurdles, let the mentor know that their help actually worked and you'd like to meet with them again and you'd like to continue on with their relationship. So that is the main reason why it's so important. And it is my opinion that if you are in business, any way, shape, or form, you're an entrepreneur, you're a person with a business opportunity, you need a mentor if you don't already have one. Now, what can help? There are things that kind of can help. Like, if you can take courses, you can take college classes, you can take, online courses. There are things you can do, but it's just, all that stuff will help. Yes. Right. All that stuff will help, but an actual mentorship is just so much better because you have somebody there, to kind of talk, walk, and guide you through it, and also somebody to hold you accountable. That's going to be important too. Another sign of a good mentor is somebody that will hold you accountable. So when you sit down with that mentor, let's go back to that last example, right? You were already at A, B, C, and D, and you needed help getting E through G, right? You leave that meeting and a couple of weeks go by. That mentor should be hitting you up, right? Hey, what's your status? where are you at with the stuff that we talked about? So another sign of a good mentor is somebody that's going to kind of hold your feet to the fire, right? And again, this is all dependent upon how much time they have and how busy they are and those type of things. But remember, the real commodity here is time. And I will tell you, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you want to use your time wisely, right? So the big thing about having a mentor is this person has already been there, done that, probably better than you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be using them as a mentor, right? So there's no point in trying to recreate the wheel if somebody has already been through what you're going through and they're willing to show you how to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose and point of the relationship. And especially if they don't want anything in return, other than maybe just your friendship, then that's really a good thing, right? So I'm not going to hold you guys long for this episode. This is just a little message about the mentor that I wanted to get off my heart and get on to y'all, right? Something to be thinking about as you continue within your business journey. And again, whether you're a small, medium, large, or, you can be nonprofit, you can be any type of business owner. Okay. Any type of business owner. Remember, this is P's Corner, P's Place, right? P's House. You can call it whatever you want. But our YouTube channel is at P's Corner 433. And we are YouTube's #1 business education channel where we teach digital marketing and digital advertisement to folks just like y'all, right? Business owners, entrepreneurs, folks who are willing to listen and who are willing to implement these things within their business, get that business online and become more successful than you were before. That's the whole point and purpose of this YouTube channel. And then thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Always be blessed.